It's a funny thing is when I first started in this business as a serious young adult, right? I was in a talk show, and the famous actor from the 30s and 40s, John Carradine. You know, who John
Yes,
Carradine was the host. Was
really. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you have to have us tell you. Yeah. That happened to me today. I posted for one of the actors that his movie was out, and he's like, "Thank you for telling me." And they completely changed the title. Waiting for this day for a long time. I have been waiting to talk to you because you were one of my earliest followers.
That's true. That's true. You said
You
that to me
know,
before.
I started this August 13th, and you were
Hmm.
right there.
Well, okay, we're back in business now, I think, more or less. Is that too bright a picture? Let me go close
No,
that.
I think you're good.
All right. Okay. You know, we're always doing interviews and self auditions here in our living rooms. So we have to find the good light. As you can see, I found some good light. It's all about the light.
Yeah, because I do know you guys do your, it cracks me up when they say that you guys do interviews right from, you do your self tapes and your auditions right from your house.
Absolutely, absolutely. I use every time I have to do an audition, it's hi there, John Richardson for the patriarch, and I always put the patriarch in there, doing what I say, and that's it. And then we start to sing.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. You do
Yeah,
that for
yeah,
every audition.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
Because you can't
okay, so
because you can't trust a vocal slate. You may not have the sound correct, right? But you get the visual and you can freeze it. So that way
and
they
then they
get my
get it.
number, my name, the character, and we're all ready to rock and roll. So it literally is a tab that takes you into the audition. It's
That's
become
brilliant.
it's
All these young actors need to learn from you.
it's become an art. It's become an art form, real art form. This whole auditioning because so much of it is about the lighting, decent lighting, and eye
Yeah,
lines, and the more you do it, the better you get, and you find the little tricks of the trade. The light's always shifting in the room here, so it depends on what time of day. For instance, if I know I have to do an action piece, then I'm going to have it over here facing my balcony where I have a little more outdoor leaves and that sort of, trees. And, it's hard to be in a living room like this and do a Western or do a night,
yeah.
or something like that, so.
This is so cool. This is so cool. So I know you told me you've done over 30 verticals.
Yeah, yeah. And I have had to turn down about 12 so far.
And is that because of conflicts with filming other ones or because you didn't like what the movie was?
Well, most of it was conflict with scheduling. The trouble is so many of these are being shot in the same schedules, the same like 8 and 10 day frames. And so you'll have, okay, I got one from November 10th to the 21st. Great, okay. Now here's another one that starts on November 20th. Can I get it? Maybe I'm not working those last 2 days. Maybe they don't need me there first 2 days. It's a madhouse if you try to do that. You're better off just to say, I'm booked on these days.
Yeah.
And if theirs starts before I finish my last booking, don't bother. Don't bother to book it because you're going to have conflicts. And it makes it easier. I think for the younger guys, they don't want to say no. They're excited
Yeah.
to work, right? But what you have to understand with Verdes is it's like buses. Another 20 minutes, there'll be another one.
Oh, it's ridiculous how many are coming out.
Yeah, yeah. And
I mean,
we get them every day, dozens every day.
yeah. I mean, I look and say, okay, I've got a list of ones I want to look at because they're actors I follow and or I really like the way it looks interesting. I don't have enough hours in a day. I work full time. I don't have time
Right.
to watch a lot of these. And
Right.
so I've missed some really good ones.
I'm fascinated that you are able to watch as many as you all do watch because you must
Yeah.
watch. How many have you watched? Have you kept track?
Well, I can't tell you exactly how many I've watched. In December, I'm going to start keeping track. December 1st, I'm going to keep track of every movie I watched and notes
Right,
on it.
right.
But when I was going through my heart failure recovery, I tended to watch 4 or 5 a day. Now I've
Mm,
only been able to get in 1 or 2 a day because my goal is to do one review a day so that it doesn't put too much stress on me. Because I watch a movie, write notes, rewatch the movie, then write my reviews.
right, right, right.
So
So
that's a few hours
you're putting about a half a day in just per movie if you're writing reviews,
for
aren't you?
one.
That's yeah. Oh. Now, how many
And
reviews
I
have
think
you
that's why
written
mine
so
are
far?
so detailed, you
Yeah,
know. Mine are more of a review than a synopsis.
yeah, yeah. Good.
So, but so you've done, I mean, you've done hundreds of movies, hundreds of
Yeah,
films.
yeah.
How many?
I don't know, over 300 films. Over 300 films. Um, it's a funny thing is when I first started in this business as a serious young adult, right? I was in a talk show, and the famous actor from the 30s and 40s, John Carradine. You know who John
Yes.
Carradine was? Yeah, all right. He was a guest on the show, and the host was
Really? Yeah. 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 Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you have to have us tell you. Like, yeah. That happened to me today. I posted for one of the actors that his movie was out, and he's like, well, thank you for telling me. And he goes, and they completely changed the title. So, you know what's surprising to me is that you guys don't get to watch these movies unless you pay to watch them. Is that true? And they're all trying to compete against each other because there's so many platforms. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, for me, if I've seen the story and they've recycled it again, chances are I may watch it if I like that actor, but chances are it's going to be a review going comparing it to the other one. You know, it's going to go, well, this one was that much better or worse or whatever. So, well, that's true. That's true. But you know, this new one you just did with Jackson and Grace, you know, it's on a brand new website, Taste Life, a whole nother new website. Yeah. And the thing is backing away from some of these um platforms that have so much violence, you know, or bullying or the same tropes. And I'm kind of backing away from them. How do you feel about all the violence in these shows? Yeah, 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 yeah. I totally get that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's so true. You know, wow, that's an interesting thought. Now, where do you think verticals are going? Do you think that they'll get rid of some of this violence? You know, boy, that's a great point. That's a great thought there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So would you say percentage wise, how many of these are China based movies? Like written in China, produced in, you know, made for the China mark. I mean, you know, they're Chinese because I know there's a few that are American now, but very few. Yeah. Yeah. And I will agree. There's been a number of movies that I've watched where I've said, "Are we going to get a sequel to this?" And then we never hear another thing. And I can name 4 or 5 that I think would have made great sequels. You know? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 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 Now, what do you think? Wow. Okay, it says John Henry Richardson has stopped being recorded because of low browser storage. Ask them to free up space and rejoin. Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah, that's the weirdest thing. I don't know what's going on. We'll get this straightened out. So let me ask you, where do you think will happen with SAG getting involved? Yeah. So are you glad you joined the vertical market? Yeah. 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 And I've seen you and I've like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. You know, I love that. And I noticed the last couple of movies I've watched, they've added a lot of comedy to them, which, you know, the first few months I've watched them, I didn't find hardly any comedy. And so it was, you know, kind of refreshing. Oh yeah. And I totally agree with you 100%. 100%. And my problem with a lot for me is I've got to be a lot more open about the continuity. Like I watched a movie yesterday about the cyber crush, and the young boy that was supposed to be her love interest looked like he was 15. And I'm like, wait, you're in your late 20s, early 30s, and you're given this kid who looks like he's 15. He was supposed to be in his 20s. But to me, I was like, this is not right. This is a casting issue right there, you know? But but the consistency of why did you come so late and it's light outside, or you know, just so many different things like that. And I look at those and I notice them, but I have to realize that the general public that are watching verticals is not going to notice that. Exactly. That is a great point. They're not looking for it. Oh yeah. Yeah, and I think the thing is, yeah, for me, if the movie's really bad, I just don't finish it. You know? It's one of those I'd rather not finish it or get through it than watch a bad review, than write a bad review. And there's been many times where I've said something critical, but those actors have I've messaged them and gone, "Oh, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to be a little critical on you." And they're like, "No, no, no, we want to hear it." And some of them have thanked me, but like, the time I had to say maybe the makeup artist needs to sit the next one out. That got a lot of laughs, because sometimes, yeah, sometimes I got a little humor in there. Sam Meyerson, oh, yeah, not gonna happen. Yeah, yeah, and I agree with you. Yeah, you and I agree a lot. You and I agree a lot on a lot of these things. We are. Yeah, I think you guys do. Yeah, you're filming it and then you're like, okay, what's going to happen after we leave this? How is production going to put this together? How are they going to edit it? How's this going to turn out? That's got to be, I'm sure you've got the actors that go and say, okay, this is a duty. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to go film this for 7 or 8 days and then walk away. But then there's the other actors that go, I really want to see this succeed. I want to see how they do this. I hope they don't ruin my part. So you've got different aspects of that. They're doing it as you right there. Wow. So this is why some of these are getting put out so fast. I know. They can fix it. Oh my gosh. Instead of a retake and a retake and a retake. Yes. Yeah. The way yeah. And I can tell when I look at some of these, like who, if I find out who filmed them, I can pretty much tell a lot of them if they're the Chinese companies because of the way they've been done. But I have certain directors that I'm really enjoying. Like I watched a movie today and I was like, oh my gosh, I should have known this was a Sinjay, movie because it's just the way she works, the way she directs. So I'm getting to know different directors and how they film, and what they do. I've Yeah, yeah. Like, Coco Beware, Casey Jackson, Kristen Brancaccio, they're all so good in what they do. Yeah. And she's so young. She's only 34. I mean, I look at me, I'm like, you're 30 years younger than I am, you know? And but I did an interview with her last week and I was just blown away, how young she was. I just wasn't expecting it. But she's got a really good vision, and that's when I think we're starting to see that directors are taking, she was telling me that sometimes they'll bring a platform or a client will bring a thing and they don't want anything changed. But now directors are starting to speak up a little bit and go, can we take out some of this abuse? A movie that happened recently on Real Short, very, very abusive. And I wrote about it, and two of the actors said it was supposed to be a lot more abusive. We got a lot of it taken out. Yeah. Well, it's not for me. I back out of those. No, not one. Yeah. And they are. They totally are. I watched Hallmark after COVID or during COVID, and they just got boring. So when Noah Fernley showed up on my Instagram or Facebook and I clicked on it, I went, whoa, what is this? You know? And yeah, and like you were talking about bad reviews, yeah, I won't finish a movie if it's really bad. So that's you're not seeing those reviews. But there are a lot of bad ones out there, but there's some really good ones. You've got so many. Yeah, and the three name changes later, trying to know that it was this. I mean, I tease some of the boys. I call them boys because they're my kids' age. The film, some of these titles. Like, boss, your wife's a half detective. What's a half detective? Is she cut in half? And it was because she wasn't a full detective, you know? But I teased Mark Potter about that. I said that title of that movie is just crazy. Oh yeah. Yeah. So the big joke. Yeah, so let me ask you a question because you've done this for quite a while now. A lot of times they'll use the same hospital, Albany Hospital. That's in like probably 40 movies I've seen, and they're all on different platforms. Is there like a library of videos that they take from? Like there's restaurant. There's one that says restaurant. That's been in like 50 videos. It's the same exact one in all these verticals. Yeah. 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 Horizontal and vertical. Yeah. I noticed there was a movie recently that said, it was vertical and then but it said but the horizontal release will be next week, and I'm thinking, why? But what's the purpose? Because I watch on my iPhone. That's what I watch on. Is it for someone that wants to watch it on something else on a laptop? Yeah. Oh, I think I lost you. Let me turn you up a little bit, see if nope, I lost you again. Oh man, I wanted to talk to you more. Nope, don't have you. Hey, let me end this and let's do another one. Can we do another one? Because I want to talk to you about, some of your favorite things, talk about the schooling, the everything you've done, because I'm not hearing you. And so we could set up another one if you don't mind down the road, maybe a shorter one. Perfect. Okay, I'll talk to you. Okay. Yeah.